active restorative is going to really help with self-regulation. Hi, everyone. Are we rolling? I think I need some water. Just filled in, really nice. Hi, any requests? I wish I brought my coffee.
Do we keep this on or off?
Off. Thank you. Core and hip flexors. Will you remind me that?
Core and hip flexors?
Yeah. Melissa, do you have any favorite core things in yoga? Or what's your favorite core thing in yoga, if you have one? It's okay if you don't.
I do, but I'm scared to say it out loud because I don't want to scare anybody.
Oh, is Melissa scary? You're not scary.
I'm not scary, but core can be scary. At least for me.
Okay. So you don't want to say?
Well, it's like that, it's when you're like downward facing dog, three-legged dog, and then you go like knee curling towards your heart, leg up, same elbow, same knee,
Yeah.
leg up, same elbow, opposite knee.
Yeah, that sort of sequence.
Yeah.
I like that. You don't know that one? That's not scary.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been working out with my friend Katie Gold at KG Strong since like September. Does everybody know KG? If not, like follow KG. She's awesome. And she makes me do this thing, you know those like rollers, those foam rollers? I have to lay on the foam roller and put my hands against the wall and like knit it all in and back and then like extend the legs. And it just feels so awesome. And she doesn't make, there's other shit she makes me do that I HATE, it's the dirtiest word. But that one, it's like, with the core work, it doesn't take much. And I love looking at the core through yoga because when we do the core work in yoga, like everything else is getting recruited at the same time. Like we're not really just isolating the core. We're calling all parts of ourselves to the center. So core work, hip flexors, heart bench. Anything else? Okay, it's not a speak now or forever hold your peace model. If we haven't met before, I'm just looking for my phone so I can see where the music is coming from. If we haven't met before, welcome. My name is Mariel. Ooh, this shouldn't be hanging. Ugh. Everything I offer is an invitation, not an obligation, so please feel free to take it or leave it. Like really, this is your practice. We can move together and move differently and still move together. Oh gosh, new announcements. Wellness on the Waterfront at Ray Street Pier is a free yoga summer series sponsored by Independence Blue Cross. And it runs from July 7th through October 10th, Mondays and Thursdays, 6 to 7, and Sundays at 10. So if you're into doing yoga outside where there is no air conditioning, you can find us out there. Circle of Rhythm, Drum, Connect, Share with Narain. That's Anisha's dad. He's such a Renaissance man, and it's just a free music community time on next Saturday, 2 Saturdays, July 12th, 4 to 6. So come, bring your instruments if you have them, or you can, hands are instruments, laps are instruments, and it's just a way to hang out. Kids Yoga Fun Night with Sarah, Saturday, July 12th.
Can I ask you
Yeah.
thing with Anisha's dad? Would that be appropriate for kids?
I was thinking about bringing my kids. Yeah. Yeah, I think if you think your kid would love it, then definitely. Yeah. I think I'll bring my kids to that. Great question. And then it overlaps with Kids Yoga Fun Night. That's interesting. We'll talk to them about that. Giving Garden, movement meditation with Crux and Stones. It's a fundraiser for the Root to Fruit Festival on Saturday, July 13th, which is also weird because there's Saturday, July 12th and Saturday, July 13th. So, okay, so not sure. Thank you. Art of Teaching Restorative Yoga with Eric, Friday, July 18th, Saturday, July 19th, and Sunday, July 20th. And then we're in August. Oh, in August, I'm doing a mini immersion 2.0, embodying the 3 queens. It's open to anyone who just wants to go deeper in their practice and spend a weekend, yoga-ing, meaning asana, pranayama, meditation, philosophy with me. And it does count as credits towards the advanced training if you're interested. That's in August 8th to 10th. And then the Wim Hof method and ice baths for yoga practitioners, which was a big hit the last time we did it. That's Saturday, August 23rd from 12 to 4. Anyone else have any announcements? No Camden today.
Hi everyone, I'm Claire Rogers. I run the Forever Postpartum Mom Group, and our next round is starting early September. So if you have any questions about that, you can catch me after that.
Forever and ever postpartum.
Ever and ever.
And ever and ever. I'm like, does it end between lives, or do I still have to come back and deal with you again? Sorry.
Past lives.
Okay, JK, little babies. Okay, make yourself as comfortable as humanly possible. Just give yourself the fullness of a moment to arrive and settle. To notice where you are and how you are. And if there's anything in particular that you need or want from your yoga practice today. And if there is anything in particular that you're here to cultivate, nurture, just hold that in your heart of hearts. That becomes really the energy, the power, the force behind the intention for your practice. And also, if there is no clear intention, the practice is sufficient unto itself. Like, allow yourself to be sensitive and receptive to whatever it is your practice has to reveal to you today. So there can be either an intention or an openness, and in fact, there can be both intention and openness. Imagine that. The entire physical practice of yoga is first and foremost in service to the breath, to the gift of life that each breath offers, that fills us and enlivens us, surrounds us and supports us and connects us to each other and all that is. The physical practice is a strategy for aligning ourselves and engaging ourselves and stretching ourselves with integrity through aligned engagement so that this gift of life that each breath offers can flow in us, as us, through us, more deeply, more fully, more freely. In turn, creating really an expansion of the center that creates more bandwidth for life. More bandwidth for life. And more bandwidth for life makes us of greater service to those in the world around us. The breath ignites your heart wherein the voice of the true teacher resides. And then the splendor, the voice of the true teacher, the source of supreme love and divine wisdom, has an opportunity to inform, to illuminate, and to inspire the faculty of your mind and the agency of your body. Here in this gift of embodiment, you can bring your hands to heart center. If you're reclined, you can just let the palms rest over the heart center. If you're seated, you can bring your hands into Anjali Mudra, like a prayer gesture. And in either form, it's a gesture of sincere self-reverence, an opportunity to recognize and acknowledge the voice of the true teacher, always present, intrinsically peaceful, utterly powerful, and luminous, never further than your heart, which is never further than your breath. And it's a gesture that places this recognition of ourselves, this aspect of ourselves before us as a guide for at least the time we spend together. And together we'll set the tone for our practice today by sharing the voices of our hearts and the sound of an Om. Please feel free to join into the sound or let it wash over you. Deep breath in. Bow to your heart, always present, again, intrinsically peaceful and utterly powerful and luminous. Keeping this connection inward, unwavering. Release your hands, blink open your eyes. If you're reclined, very gently roll to one side. We're gonna meet in tabletop position. And as you come into your tabletop position, hands near the top corners of your mat, you could pad your knees with a blanket if you like, and just begin by linking breath and movement. As you exhale, round your back and inhale to arch. And begin to imagine yourself less as a body with a breath and more as a breath with a body. And as you dial into the currents of the breath, and it's the currents of the breath that move you, let the light of awareness dial into sensation. Notice what you feel, how it feels, where you feel it. And not to reduce yourself down to one feeling or a sensation, but to really open the field of awareness to let in as much of what you sense and feel as possible. Notice what you notice, feel what you feel. We're dialing our awareness inward. In a world, in a life as householders that can be so noisy. We'll come more into a tabletop position. Hands at the top corners of the mat. Walk your knees back a little bit behind your hips, wrists forward of the shoulders. Big breath in, and as you exhale, send your hips back until you feel a stretch through sort of your armpit chest area. And as you press the palms down and lift the underarms up, right between the shoulder blades, soften. Claw the fingertips back to reach your heart forward towards table. Walk your knees in just a smidge. Shrug your shoulders towards your fingertips. And then the bare minimum, you're gonna bring your pelvis forward, point the feet, and bend the elbows just as much as you need to peel the shoulders up and back. Press the hands down and back, slide the palate back, press the feet down. Exhale to child's pose. The big toes touch, the knees widen. And as you press your hips back towards your heels, take a few deep breaths. Can you find and feel the breath in the back and sides of the waist? Like gills on a fish. Claw the fingertips back to pull yourself through to tabletop. Exhale to round. Stay for the inhale. And as you exhale, push the hands down, forward, and out. Looking a little deeper to the heart, to the center. And as you inhale, start to tip your tailbone to the sky and melt vertebra by vertebra into cow stretch. Stay for the exhale, soften between the shoulder blades. And as you inhale, press the hands down, in, and back to peel the sternum, the heart bone, the breastbone forward. Come more into neutral spine position. And with the toes tucked, press up and back to downward facing dog. So I love core work and yoga because my favorite sutra from the entirety of the yoga tradition, maybe we'll pull this into that August weekend, says the bliss of consciousness is attained through expansion of the center. And so everything we do in our practices of yoga is about expanding the core, expanding the center. On an inhale, float the right leg to the sky. With your exhale, catch a lunge. Yes, good. And bring your hands to your front thigh or hips, just to come up sort of balance. Feel both feet on the ground, and then to create like a little more steady groundedness, you pull your feet towards each other. And by pulling the feet towards each other, you're drawing towards the center. Can you feel that? And as you draw the feet towards each other and draw towards the center, what you'll feel in your body is that the legs become more active and engaged. Like the skin hugs the muscles and the muscles hug the bones of the legs. And as you pull your feet towards each other, can even scissor the legs to the midline. And from the core of the pelvis, as you push down through the legs, reach up through the arms. So first you engage yourself, you wrap yourself, you orient yourself to the center, and then keeping that from the core of the pelvis as you push down and out through the legs and you reach up past your own fingertips, get bigger from inside out. On an exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. We'll meet there. Pedal your feet a little bit from side to side. Notice if perhaps there's a little bit of a difference from side to side. Breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. Follow your breath and breath with a body. On the inhale, the breath floats the left leg up and back. Exhale to catch your lunge. Inhale to reach the arms up. Pause, find and feel both feet on the ground. And then energetically pull the feet towards each other. Feel the legs engage from the earth all the way up into the hips. And as you pull your feet towards each other and feel the legs engage, scissor to the midline. And from the core of the pelvis, as you push down and out, reach up and out. Yes, I feel like everyone's elbow creases just went up an inch. And as you reach up through the fingertips, can you bend your front leg one more inch and take one more breath? With the exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. Find your breath. Inhale to plank. Press the knees and then bend the elbows the bare minimum to find Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. So you're skipping Chaturanga. Point the feet, reach the heart forward and up, pull the hands back. One more of the deepest, fullest breaths. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Follow your breath, not my voice. Breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. On the inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Lift the bottom heel high. Exhale, slow motion, light silent step through to lunge, maybe. Okay, back heel to the ground. Inhale, warrior two. That was very nice. No one sees us warriors coming. As you inhale, pull the feet towards each other. Again, can you feel that connection from the ground and the feet all the way up into the hips? When you pull your feet towards each other, you're drawing energy to the power of your center. And then from there, anchor through the back leg. Reach through the You're going to hold on to the person behind you and bend the front leg deeper. Nice. Let's bring the front forearm to the front thigh, and as you root through the back leg, reach the left fingertips across the room. As you inhale, linking breath and action, pull the feet towards each other, draw energy from the earth up the legs into the core of the pelvis. And from the core of the pelvis, as you exhale, root down through the legs to extend through the spine, the crown, and the left fingertips even more. Left arm straighter, stronger, longer. Flip the left palm to the sky. Inhale, warrior two. Push your front leg straight. Exhale, right fingertips to a block inside or outside your front foot for triangle pose. Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. Look down at your right fingertips and notice if that takes any tension out of your head. Bring your left hand right to the back of your head and point your left elbow forward and then press your head back into your hand and point your elbow to the sky, but keep looking down at your right fingertips. Yeah, that's a little, I hope that feels like a little less unnecessary tension. And as you pull the feet towards each other, press into the inner edge of your front foot. As you look there, can you stick your butt out more on the left side? This is so nerdy. And now, as you take the left thigh bone back, can you guide your inner front knee and thigh more open? And rest your head back into your hand. And now take a belly breath. And as the belly contracts with the exhale, push through the legs, lean your head back over your shoulder blades, like you're leaning over the back of a chair. On your next exhale, fingertips to the floor, pass through your low lunge and take a big step back to downward dog. Any questions on that? Okay. Push through the arms to lift through the hips, press back through the thighs and down through the heels. And again, notice what you feel and feel what you notice. Is it okay to touch? Okay, press right here. I'm gonna bring your shoulders this way a little bit and then send your heart this. Yes, you okay there? Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna hold your hips, but try to keep your shoulders moving towards like plank. Yes. Oh my God, your spine just got so much longer. And now let your hips go up and back, and you're just gonna find sort of the tug of war, playful place where you feel like you're doing both. On your inhale, float the left leg high to the sky, follow your breath, big, light, soft step through to lunge, back heel to the ground, inhale for warrior two. Take your time, follow in the wake of your breath. As you inhale, pull the feet towards each other and feel yourself get stronger, more grounded through your foundation. And as you pull the feet towards each other and the legs engage, reach, Molly, I'm right here, reach your right arm straight back and bend the front leg deeper. Squeeze the front heel in, guide the inner thigh open, and let's bring the left forearm to the left thigh and reach the right arm overhead for Parsvakonasana prep. And then even here, like we mentioned this on the first side in triangle, but I think you'll find it easier to find here. Turn the back toes in, Eileen. Can you sort of stick your butt out here a little bit and feel the top of your back thigh move back? And everyone feel that? So like the front of your back thigh, right up by your groin, we want that part to move back. And it'll feel like you're sticking that right butt cheek out. Keep that, and then anchor the left butt cheek and sitting bone down. Squeeze the left heel in and guide the inner left thigh open as you lean back over the shoulder blades. Flip the right palm to the sky, big breath in, pull the feet towards each other, reach up and back, warrior two, front leg straight. Exhale takes you to triangle, left fingertips to the floor or a block. I recommend a block in or outside the front leg as suits you. I do find that taking the hand to the block inside the leg will help to keep the top of the back thigh back. When that back thigh roots back in the hip socket, what you get essentially is a hip opener. And when you open the hips, like prior to quote unquote, like stretching or opening the hamstrings, you're gonna get a safer and more like holistic hamstring stretch. As the top of the right thigh anchors back, root through the legs, pull the feet towards each other. You can do that with your breath. Exhale, root through the legs, inhale, pull the feet towards each other like a pulsation. Exhale, root through the legs, inhale, pull the feet towards each other. Look down at your left fingertips and bring your right hand behind your head. Point the elbow forward and press head into hand and hand into head. Keep looking down as you point the elbow up. And as you inhale, pull the feet towards each other, squeeze the left heel in, guide the inner left knee towards the little toe, and rest the head back. And keep looking down as the head goes back, or look straight ahead. Sort of feel what feels right for your neck, your shoulders. One more of the deepest, fullest belly breaths. Inhale, the center, the core expands. And as you exhale, it softens, turn through lunge, take it back to downward facing dog. Look for your breath. Find your breath. Inhale to plank, spread the fingers, claw the fingers, glue the inner edges of the hands down. On the exhale, chaturanga or chaturanga bypass. Inhale for cobra, extra breath in cobra. Press the tops of the feet down and hug the feet, the outer heels and ankles and shins to the midline, to the center. And as you hug the legs to the center, pull your hands towards your feet to open the chest, the lungs, the heart. Exhale carries you to downward dog. Follow in the wake of your breath. Can pedal through the soles of the feet, the backs of the legs. Notice any newfound space through which the light of awareness flows in you, as you, through you. On the inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through to lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up, crescent lunge. Exhale, big step forward to the top of your mat, standing tall mountain. Bring your hands together and slide your hands right down to heart center. Interlace your fingers, peek at your feet, and now make your feet hips width apart and parallel. And hug your feet energetically towards each other so you feel the muscles of the legs, especially the inner thighs, engage. With the hands interlaced, press your palms forward. And as you press the palms forward, can you suck the arm bones back, like retract the arm bones into the sockets? So in effect, the shoulder blades are hugging to the midline behind you. Keep that. Shoulder blades hug together. That's the hard part. Imagine you're holding something precious to you between your shoulder blades and you don't want to drop it as you start to take your palms towards the sky. Did you drop it? Bring it down. Suck the arm bones into the sockets. And then as best you can, keeping that palms to the sky. Palate back. Press through the index finger knuckles more. Draw the pinky finger sides of the hands back. One more breath. Exhale, release. We're going to interlace the hands behind us, or take your strap. If you feel like the arm bones are coming forward when you do that, just take a strap to give yourself a little slack so that, again, the shoulder blades can hug together. And you want to feel like you're not going to drop the precious thing that you're holding between the shoulder blades. Hug your feet towards each other, reach the arms back. Ground through the heels. Reach the arms back and reach the arms up and reach the arms up and back. And then whether you have the strap or hands that are interlaced, put a little bend in your elbows and try to pull the hands apart. And gently release. That one makes me sweat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the legs, fingertips tap the earth. Stay deep in the legs as you inhale, biceps to the ears. Exhale, fingertips to the floor or blocks. Lean into the fingertips, press your thighs back as you reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold, bow over your legs, bow to your heart. Hands to the floor or blocks out in front of you. As you inhale, float the left leg straight up and back. Press the inner left knee and thigh to the sky. And press your blocks or your fingertips down and forward so much the right heel gets light. The right heel lifts up. Push the blocks, the hands down and forward to draw the sides of the waist up and back, the bottom ribs up and back. Turn the back toes in and in. Try to magnetize your back leg to the brick wall in studio. So left leg is magnetically being pulled to the right, hugging to the midline. And press the inseam of the back leg 2 inches higher. Now change nothing in the back leg, just ground through your right heel, bend the standing leg. As you bend the standing leg, reach back through your left toes, let them hover an inch off the ground, and land the back foot. Inhale, reach the arms up, crescent lunge. Exhale, plant your hands, take it back to downward facing dog. Yeah. It depends on hamstring. So wait, was the question, are your hands under your shoulders? Lower your knees down. I do think that was confusing. But even in your confusion, I think everyone got something out of that, or else I would have stopped, but we're stopping anyway. Did everyone get a little hot from that? In other words, they're called warm-ups. Did it make you hot? Perfect. But to Claire's question, it's going to be about hamstring flexibility there. So I think we like chair pose, fingertips to the floor or blocks. Oops. Legs back, heart forward, fold. And then we went heart forward. Was it left leg straight up and back? Like for me, I'm kind of tight right now because I haven't practiced in a few days, but I can have my hands like here by my foot. The tighter you feel in the back of your leg, the further out you're going to want your blocks from your shoulders. Does that make sense? You need more space. And then you're going to lift the heel, and I flex the back foot, turn the back toes, and I'm hugging the back leg to the midline. I'm lifting the back leg as high as I can right now. But check it out. As I push the blocks down and forward, and I tether myself right into this area of the center, it's not that my leg is connected to my hip socket. There's muscles in the inner thigh that connect all the way up through the pelvic floor into the core muscles. And as I pull into the core from my core, can you see I just lifted the back leg higher? And now I'm as high as I can. I'm going to push into the blocks, and as I push into the blocks, the back leg can go more. Can you see that? And then I'm going to slow motion walk the hands, block the blocks back to hover, lightly step back, reach up. Does that make sense? And what I hope that you consciously, subconsciously, or unconsciously get there is like the full engagement of your core, meaning every fiber of your being is connected to an extension of your core, an expansion of the center. Okay, so are we in downward dog? Does that help? So if you feel like in other words, how do I want to say like you shouldn't? You'll get the back leg to internally rotate and go as high as you think it can go, and you'll perceive that as your limit. And if you try to just lift the back leg up, it's not going anywhere. But if you walk your hands out as needed to push down and forward, to pull into here, and then from here try to lift your back leg up, what you're going to find is your back leg can keep going and going and going. The back leg can go as much as you can keep tying yourself into your center. There's no final, I'm tied into center. You can always be tying yourself into center more and more and more. That back leg, I can't show you, but that back leg could go like past the center. And what happens is you're so tied into the center that that bottom foot will lift. Not because you're trying to lift the bottom foot, but because the bottom leg is the extension of the center. It's all connected. Psh, downward dog. So the point is not how high can you lift the back leg. It's more like how many times can I call myself, pull myself, integrate myself into center, and then from the center find another centimeter or millimeter of extension through the back leg from the center. On your inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Huge breath in with your exhale. A light, soft step through to lunge. Big breath in, both feet on the ground. Reach up, stretch up, crescent lunge. On your exhale, launch off your back foot. Big step forward, standing tall mountain. Interlace your hands at your heart center. Press your palms forward. Suck the arm bones in. Press the palms up. As you inhale, hug the feet towards each other. Knit the ribs back, the ears back. Take the biceps back. Palms to the sky. Think ribs back, ears back, biceps back. And then just sharing space lovingly with your neighbors. Let the arms float out and down to the sides. You can take turns with your neighbors as needed. Interlace the hands or take your strap behind you. Draw the shoulder blades together. Reach the arms back and up and back and up. Take your feet a little bit wider. And as you inhale, hug the feet to the midline so you feel your inner thighs engaged. That's part of your core. And then hinge halfway forward. Bend your knees as much as you need to, just halfway forward. Little bend in the elbows. Reach the arms up to the sky. Notice if the head is dropping, look forward like you're looking over the edge of a cliff. And as you inhale, hug your feet towards each other. Feel the legs engage. Keep that as you exhale. Think bottom ribs lift, tailbone anchors, fold over your legs, and let the arms get heavy like wet branches overhead. Keep the heels grounded as you tip into the balls of your feet. The legs can be as bent as you need or like it, but as you bend your legs, press your thigh bones back as much as you can. Release the hands to the earth as you inhale, get long through the spine, find your blocks. Exhale, fold. On the inhale, behind you. Hands forward or back to find your sweet spot. Especially if the hamstrings are tight, you're going to have to walk your hands further forward of your left foot. And then you want to find leverage. So flex your back foot, turn your back toes in, and magnetize, like you're zip locking your back leg to the midline. And now try to press the inner knee, the inner thigh to the sky. And just see how much it goes. Yeah, you got to turn the toes in a lot. Yes, it's not going to go as high. And now press your blocks down and forward to draw your rib cage up and back, to tie into your core. And from your core, can you lift the inner back thigh 1 more inch? Yes. And then exhale, push the blocks down and forward. Big breath in as you exhale, lift the back thigh 1 inch. And the more you press the blocks down and forward and pull up into your core, from your core, extend through the back leg. Good. Now walk your blocks back, bend your standing leg, and let the back foot hover 1 inch off the floor. And then ground your back foot. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, follow your breath. Plant the hands, downward facing dog. Is it hot in here? Okay, let me up the fans and lower the air. So that's the fire of your center, that sort of solar plexus manipura chakra. When you plug into that, when you stimulate that, you stimulate heat, you stimulate fire, you're literally, you can lower your knees down. I think of those like chakras or energy centers in the body as like, we have outlets in the room that we plug into for power. We have outlets in our bodies that we plug into for power. And the physical practice of yoga is a conscious, subconscious, and unconscious way of sort of finding our lines to those outlets so that we can plug into them and get empowered. And then the cool thing is, like, that sounds kind of woo-woo and esoteric, but through the physical practice of yoga, you get the direct experience. Like, did everyone feel when they could feel that sort of outlet of power inside, that the back leg got more extension? It's like literally how electricity works, I think. Any electricians in the room? Of course not. They wouldn't be here. Are there? If they were, they could explain it. I have a dream of my husband, like, having his midlife renaissance and, like, wanting to become an electrician or a plumber just so he can, like, explain stuff to me and my kids. I feel like that's, like, a good thing to have in the family. I should probably just do it myself, though, right? Like, I should be the one to become an electrician. Okay, well, I think we're like spiritual electricians. Anyone? Okay. So we plugged into the solar plexus. It's called your Manipura chakra. It's the seat of your willpower, your self-confidence, and what we also call in yoga the tapas, which is like the heat, the austerity, the stamina, the endurance. And I know that I practice yoga in this life just as a way to have stamina and endurance for life. We're going to do a couple more things on the mat, and then we went to the wall last week for inversions, and it was really awesome. And some of you are Larry students, right? Like, he really does this every week with this many people in the room. I'm going to defer to the Larry students to kind of help take the lead on this, because I don't have any spatial reasoning skills or electrical or plumbing skills, for what it's worth, to help us in the moving to the wall. Can I ask the Larry students for help with that? Okay, we're not doing it just yet, but I just kind of want to put that out there. And I'll show you something cool when we get there. Let's come into downward facing dog. So that's the finding, the discovering, the plugging into the power of the center, and then, like, the next key is the expansion of the center. And sometimes when we go into the postures that are, like, meant to be the expansion of the center, what we get is, like, the bend or the break of the center, like the bend of the center, which actually creates more disconnection than connection. As you inhale, float your right leg to the sky, and as you exhale, step it through to lunge. And lower the back knee down and pad the back knee with a blanket, if and as you like. You don't have to, but it's just kind of a nice thing to do for your knee. I mean, I have 2 blankets here if you would like one. Yeah. Are we left knee? Okay. We're going to take the blocks high inside the front leg. And then even here, I find, like, in the lunge, kind of my ribs drop forward, my pelvis is dropping down and forward. I want the ribs to kind of pull back, the pelvis to pull back. So there's, like, a little bit of resistance in the center from just, like, the collapse. So as you press the back knee down and pull the back knee forward, think top of the thigh back, almost like you're moving a little bit towards child's pose. We did that in the beginning. And then the ribs back, and you should feel like a little bit more space now between the front of the pelvis and the front thigh. Keeping that, you're going to bend the back leg. You should be more on the base of the thigh than right on the kneecap. And you can walk your blocks a little bit over to the left so that with your left hand, you can reach for your left foot. If that does not feel reachable, you just walk your hands more to the left, and then you will, in fact, reach your left foot. Pro tip. That was me trying to wink. I also can't wink or do plumbing or electricity. Pull the back knee forward and pull the front foot back to engage your legs, to hug to the midline. The more you hug to the midline, the more steady you will feel. You might be able to bring the front hand to the thigh. That is based on the extent to which you're pulling the back knee forward and the front foot back. Now, as you do that, we want to take this back thigh back more. So counterintuitive. And as you take the thigh back, can you take the ribs back? Are we in the front of the back thigh now? Thigh back, ribs back, collarbones back, ears back. Belly breath. Belly breath. One more belly breath. And then gently release. Whew. Downward dog. Lost friends on that one. Yoga friends. They'll be friends outside of the yoga room, but they'll be like, yeah, no. But it makes a huge difference in opening those deeper energy and power centers of the belly and pelvis. Like when that is tight, those lower, deeper, more foundational chakras get really blocked or limited or like not in their full access to power. We're going to take the inhale, left leg floats up and back. The exhale steps it on through to lunge. Lower the back knee down. Pat it with the blanket as you like. And in the beginning of this, like you can have your front knee a little forward of your ankle and the back knee behind the hip, and try to find the skin above the back knee so you're not right on the kneecap. And then you're going to take, you'll notice that like the pelvis drops down and forward. If you were to touch this back groin, which you're welcome to on yourself, it'll feel kind of hard. We want that to deepen back. So as you press the back knee down and forward, we're taking the butt like it's moving back towards child's pose. Yes. So and then it'll feel soft because there's an opening there now, okay? As you pull the back knee forward and the front foot back, you can come more upright. And I'm just like doing a different sort of exploration on this side. And as you come upright, think tailbone down, ribs back. And can you feel how there's space now between the front of the pelvis and the thigh? Can you keep that almost like you're bowing the ribs back to bring your hands back to your blocks without dropping the pelvis? So the tailbone's got to go down and the bottom ribs up to keep space between the front of the pelvis and the front of the thigh. That's called, wait for it, a hip opener. Feel like when the pelvis drops, you're closing that door? Okay, and then walk your blocks to the right. Bend your back leg, right hand for right foot. You bind yourself to yourself. Walk the hands as much to the right as you need to make an easier connection to yourself. Best lesson in life I ever learned, don't make it harder than it has to be. It's hard enough. Don't make it harder than it has to be. You can stay right here or come back inside the front leg with the block. Pull the back knee forward, the front foot back for stability if you want to come more upright. And as the top of the back thigh goes back, think ribs back, collarbones back, ears back. As you inhale, pull the back knee and the front foot towards each other to find and feel your stability, your foundational power. And then thigh back, ribs back, collarbones back, head back, belly breath. Bend the front leg deeper, but try not to lose the connection, calling you back into center. Gently release, downward dog. Downward dog, a linking vinyasa, which just means linking breath and movement in the style of you. You might want to explore cat-cow a few cycles, or let your breath carry you through the linking vinyasa from anything more classic or custom to you and the body that adorns you. Follow your breath. Let the currents of your breath turn you into the splendor of your heart so that this intrinsic luminosity has a chance, an opportunity to illuminate every fiber of your being from inside out. On your inhale, float the left leg high to the sky. Exhale, step it through to lunge. Feel both feet on the ground. Inhale, reach the arms up. With your exhale, launch off your back foot to balance on your left foot. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh and sit deep into pigeon chair. Can hinge forward, reach forward to hinge your hips back and down. Flex your right foot. And like you're reaching back into a preschool chair Oh, yes. Inhale to rise up through center. Draw your right knee to chest, right heel to butt cheek, and with your right hand, can you find your right foot? And then point your right knee to the ground and draw the right shoulder up and back and hug the right knee to the midline. And as you squeeze the right knee in, everyone turn the right toes out. Big breath in, exhale, hinge halfway forward for baby dancer. Squeeze the left heel in to tack the left hip back. Squeeze the right knee in to kick the right foot back. And as slow as you can possibly go, extend the right leg long behind you. Bend the standing leg, reach back, step back to crescent lunge. Both feet on the ground, huge breath in. Exhale, plant your hands. Downward facing dog. Breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. What do you feel? How does it feel? Where do you feel it? Receive yourself as you are, ever more deeply and fully. On the inhale, float the right leg high to the sky. Exhale to catch your lunge. Inhale to reach up, stretch up. Right knee and toes point straight ahead, and as you exhale, big step forward to balance on your right leg. I'm hoping this is the second side. Cross ankle over thigh, flex that foot, and reach your butt back and down. Think back and down. Reach forward as much as you need to sort of counter yourself through center. Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. Can you flex the left foot more and guide the right knee a little bit more to the right and the left hip crease back? Holy smokes. Inhale, rise up. Heel to butt cheek. Left hand for left ankle or foot. Knee points to the earth. The knee wants to splay. Hug the knee to the midline. This is the key to stability here. When you feel wobbly, it's less about what's going on in your standing leg and more that the back leg is losing connection to the midline. When the back leg loses connection to center, you'll fall out, which is not a big deal. I'm just letting you know that that's what's happening. As you inhale, hug the knee to the midline. Keep zip locking the back knee to the midline as you hinge forward. Keep the back leg zip locked to the midline as you kick the foot back. Zip lock the back knee and kick the foot back. And then as slow as humanly possible, extend long through the back leg, bend the standing leg, touchdown, score. I don't know what's gotten into me. Plant the hands, downward dog. Okay. I think we've felt the legs, yeah? Okay. You can rest in child's pose or let the breath carry you through your traditional or custom linking vinyasa. Take your time. Drink some water. Ultimately, we'll meet in child's pose. Melissa, how do you feel about L pose? Okay, good. Thank you. As you come into child's pose, feel the breath in the sides and back of your waist. It's also just like a great way to regulate in days or times that feel a little dysregulated, is to come into any posture where you could start to explore a sense of breathing sensation in the back and sides of your waist. Is it okay to touch Lisa? Right in here. Try to make my hands spread with your breath. Yes. One more like that. That's so good. Okay, sit back on your heels. And we're gonna do the thing with the walls. Raise your hand if you're a Larry student. Okay, so they're gonna help. Can I make sure I have like Larry students on like every possible available wall, and then encourage folks to come get close to you and do the thing where you like move shit out of the way as needed to make room for others? Oh yeah, that's the Corinne spot, right? This is your spot. Okay. It depends what it looks like. If it feels really tight, then we'll probably come back into the center so people can feel a little more.
Looking at you so adorably. You're so cute.
And if you're not a Larry student and this feels kind of unnecessarily disruptive, that's advanced yoga. And which is probably why we should be doing this more on Sunday. Remind me that I said that because I won't be accountable. Yeah, thank you, Desiree. There's room between Desiree and Molly. Eileen, do you need a spot? Haley, will you put Haley right there? Thank you. That's a good buddy. Bathroom time. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to give other options. Yeah. Okay. I do, before I give the mic over to Melissa, I do, and Lisa, you can ask about this if and when you come back. I want to give the options here. So Melissa's about to teach inversions, including L pose. If you're not inverting today for any reason whatsoever, can I use this spot? Is this you? We're going to do the not inverted form of the pose, which is Warrior 3 with the wall, which we've been doing today in the middle of the room. But basically, you're just going to, and I'll demo this, and then I'll talk you through it, and then I'm going to hand it over to Melissa to flip it upside down. Your hands will come hip height to the wall, shoulders up and back, and then you're just going to walk your feet back until your arms are straight. Okay, and then the tendency is this collapse. I'm going to push into the wall to draw the ribs up. See how the ribs lifted? But now my head is higher than my arm bones. Keeping the ribs lifted, I'm going to soften the upper back until my ears are in line with my arm bone. So I'm not here, and I'm not here. Okay, my tendency is towards that break in the middle. I need to plug into center. So that's the rib cage moving in and back, and the upper back moving in and forward. And then it's called like dialing into center. And you can say right here, as I push into the wall, I'm just going to send the right leg straight up and back. This is the tendency. Wrap your hips, your pelvis around the center, and rather than lifting from the foot, think lift from the inner knee and thigh. And I'm going to hug that back leg straight and strong to the midline, and check it out. As I draw the ribs in and push through the wall, can I lift the back leg higher? As I draw the ribs in and push through the wall, can I lift the back leg higher? And that's Warrior 3. And you do both sides. How'd that look? Okay. So that's not inverted, but you're getting a lot of strength and conditioning in your body and through center. I'm going to talk you through it. So turn to the wall. Bring your hands about hips height. Like step right up to the wall, hands hip height. Little bit higher is fine, not lower. And walk your feet back now until your arms are straight. You're in a 90-degree angle. Walk your feet right underneath your hips. So you're in an L shape, 90-degree. And then draw the front of your rib cage, the bottom ribs in front towards the back of your body, and your spine between your shoulder blades towards the front of your body. And just notice how that feels. And look towards the thumbs. Good. And as the bottom ribs lift up and the upper back softens in, can you get your biceps and your ears more in line with each other just from dialing into center? And then extend your right leg straight back behind you. Turn your toes in and wrap your right hip point towards your bottom foot. Is it okay to touch? And tack your left hip crease towards your back foot. Yes, feel that? And then push into the wall, draw the bottom ribs up and lift the inner back thigh an inch. And turn your back toes in and hug the back leg to the midline. Big breath in, and as you exhale, push through the wall, draw the bottom ribs up, lift the back inner thigh an inch. One more breath, press the back knee to the sky as you push through the wall. And then float the right foot down, walk it towards the wall. How was it? That was like a real Warrior 3, right? Like, it different? Imagine finding that without the wall. The wall is so great because it creates a boundary that you can push into. And the whole point of healthy boundaries is that they help us find and stay connected to center. And then the healthy ones allow the center to expand, right? Like that's good parenting, good relationships. Good luck if you find one of those in life. But keep seeking them, because that's really advanced yoga, is like those relationships that help us see ourselves and each other more clearly through healthy boundaries. Right now you got the wall. The wall is a steady promise. Stand up to the wall. Eileen got you a spot, Haley. So sweet, so sweet. The best. Sweet, sweet friendship. Hands to the wall, hip height, then push your arms straight as you walk your feet back underneath your hips. You're in an L. You can make little adjustments. You might feel like you want to crawl your hands a little higher, walk your feet forward or back a little bit. As you push your arms into the wall, draw the bottom ribs up and let the upper back soften in. So you're dialing into center. The bottom ribs are lifting up, and the upper back, and right here, Jaya, is softening in. Walk your hands a little higher, actually. Look forward. Yeah, and walk your feet back a little bit. And then extend the left leg straight back behind you. There it is. And as you inhale, hug the back leg to the midline, turn the back toes in. Keep lifting up through here. Good. And then as you tack the left hip towards the right foot, pull the right hip and left heel towards each other. And then push through the wall to lift the inner back thigh. Push through the wall to draw the bottom ribs up, and from the center, lift the inner back thigh. Turn the back toes in one more time. And rest. Whew. Okay, so that's not nothing. It's not technically an inversion because your head and your heart are on the same plane. You can stay with that. Or, drum roll, please.
Okay, elbows at the wall. If you're following along, let's start with table and bring your feet to the back of the wall. So you'll have a really close in table.
You can always come back to the warrior three at the wall if you're not inverting for any reason whatsoever.
And when we change our perspective, especially in like a physical way, going upside down, we want to make sure the foundation is set up. So look at your wrists, make sure they're right underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Keep that as you root down through your palms. Shrug your shoulders up and back, and imagine that you could squeeze like your credit card between your shoulder blades, like a little pocket for that. Keep that in the upper back. Now you can stay here or begin to walk 1 foot up the wall, 1 footprint higher.
Lift the knees up first.
Lift the knees up and then walk your foot up, and you're going up to hip width height.
Hip level height.
Words.
Yeah.
So it might feel really constricted. You don't want to walk all the way up the wall. You want to be in line with your butt. Press down through your hands and draw strength up your arms from the back of your shoulders. And then from the back of your shoulders, press down into your arms and back down into the earth. Press your feet into the wall. Nice. Now everyone slowly step down, come back to table. That's a big one. Full legs distance from the wall.
Because if you're in cat cow, you're kind of like stuck here.
Yeah, I was too close. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
so I'm getting
yeah.
my legs straight, so it should be a full leg distance. Is that right?
It depends. It's a great question. It's like a great general way in is to be leg length distance. Sometimes you might feel too far from the wall. It's kind of like even with the warrior three. They're not one size fits all. Like I needed to actually just have you come out, but we got in there because you're super. But for the new teacher, Physically, it's harder to be in L pose than in handstand. But if you can physically get to the conditioning place in L pose where you are leg length distance, then you're for sure ready to work on kicking up. Yeah. So if you know that that's your sweet spot, then yeah, you would just take soles of the feet to the wall, hands at your hips, flip it around. There's I can't make an imaginary wall, but you can do that. Or from tabletop, hands of print forward. Do it again.
Yes. Let's do it again.
And like once you're in any variation that you choose to be in, upside down, right side up, seated. 5 of the deepest, fullest breaths that require the least amount of effort.
From table, press down through your feet to lift your knees up. Then begin to walk one foot up the wall, then the other, until you land about butts width length away from the wall. Once you land at the wall, press your feet into the wall, like you're standing on the ground. Then keep that and press down through your hands and draw strength up your arms. Press back down into your arms and back down into the earth as you knit your ribs in and together. In your own time, slowly walk down the wall, bring your knees down and land in table. Any new questions, comments, revelations from that round?
The form looks awesome. So then like with the form comes the action. Like when we're upside down, the tendency is to kind of get lost in space. Like where even is the center when I'm turned upside down? So we were here in Warrior 3, like maybe whatever your tendencies are this way or this way. And then the point is to kind of dial into the center in the Warrior 3 with like both feet on the ground, one foot on the ground. That makes it harder. And then no feet, when it feels like there are no feet on the ground, can we dial into center? Can I use your spot? And just come where you can see if you can't see. Hopefully my shirt's tight enough to show this. So if this is my table and I come in from here, it's gonna be way too tight. So I like to kind of give myself a little more space. And then my tendency is gonna be kind of here. That's a bend or a disconnection to center. So I gotta even here, ribs back, heart forward, ribs back. See how it's getting bigger? Ribs back. So it's like you gotta pause, now feel both hands on the ground, and just like pushing into the wall, you have to push through your hands like your hands are your legs to draw the ribs back. And then it's basically like, I always like to think about it, especially in my inversions and arm balances, is that my bottom ribs in front are moving towards the bottom tips of my shoulder blades and back, and the bottom tips of my shoulder blades and back are moving towards my bottom ribs in front. If that helps for like those kinds of learners in the room. When you're upside down, just kind of orient yourself to like, where are my bottom ribs? Where are the bottom tips of my shoulder blades? And can I draw them towards each other to find the center? You want to try it one more time? Okay. Or back to Warrior 3, where you're at the wall. You can find a comfortable meditation posture and let the like sacrum, shoulders, head all rest against the wall for like 5, again, deep, full breaths. Because that is one of the like most ultimate, it's called a dharana, or meditation of connecting to center, sustaining center. Even when there's a room full of shit happening around you. So yeah.
Your head during this, are you looking at the wall, or is it just?
It's a great question. So if you're going for it, to help get your ribs back, you can look towards your heart and that you'll feel your ribs go back. And then keeping that, you can look forward of your fingertips and you'll feel your upper back go in. I'll say that in this round. So your mark gets set, L pose, and we'll use the gaze to help find and make the connections. Come into your L pose, find your breath. And then once you're in, look towards your heart and see if that helps you get the bottom ribs back. Like look in towards your navel and get your bottom ribs back. Now keep that feeling of the bottom ribs moving towards the spine as you look forward of your fingertips and move your upper back between your shoulder blades towards the wall. How's that? Yeah. And then you can extend with extending one leg at a time up, so you're in warrior 3 upside down. Flex that top foot and think inner thigh across through and push through the arms, ribs back, upper back in, both sides and or rest. We'll have a check-in. How'd that help? Did that work, Molly? Yeah. So there's in the classical yoga tradition, there's a lot of talk about drishti and where does the gaze go. And I like the practice in and of itself as a form of dharana, which is the 8 limbs of yoga. Dharana is it goes yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, the 8 limbs. Then it goes dhyana, samadhi. Was that 8? Did I get 8? Something like that. Dharana just means anything that contains your focus, like an object that can hold your focus. Is a dharana. It's one of the steps on meditation towards samadhi. So I like using the gaze as a dharana in a physical practice. And so effectively, if you're just looking forward, we're going to lose awareness of connection to the ribs, and they'll tend to splay forward, which disconnects us to the center. So when you look in towards the self, literally your body in the front, the ribs will go back, and it'll help you reconnect. And then the hard part is, can you keep that as you now move the gaze, the dharana, to the upper back by looking forward? And put this back on. How are we on time? Okay, options. Pull it in. Okay, one more thing, because it's a mixed level group today. So one more of your favorite thing we've done so far at the wall, or if you want to push a little bit more, can I use your spot, Tiara? We're going to turn to face the wall, standing on the blocks. And the Claire's question from earlier is going to be a factor here, depending on hamstrings and how close to the wall you want to be. The more open you are in your hamstrings and upper back, the closer to the wall you can be, Maya. And also, the tighter you are, you're going to be more in a downward dog facing the wall. But you kind of have to figure it out, because you're going to be standing on the blocks, and the blocks don't really move once you're set. So you're going to walk it out so that you can plant your hands for handstand. I like the blocks a little closer, but most humans are going to want them a little farther apart. Thank you. This is this a new Manduka, or have you had this forever? Oh my God, you guys. This is the mat. You don't, because it looks brand new, but I know this mat has been around, because you don't see these anymore. This is the best mat. I had this mat in the early aughts. I have to make sure I come over to this mat anytime you're in class, just to pay my respects to this mat. It's a Manduka from, what year is it from? Yeah. In my first class with Elena Brower in 2002 or 3, I was slipping on my mat. Anyone ever get slipping, palm sweaty slipping on their mat? Sorry, we're gonna do yoga. And she came over to me and was she brought her mat over. She's like, try this. And I didn't slip for the first time in years and years of doing yoga. And she's like, you can keep it. Yeah, and then she was my teacher for a long time. Okay, hi Matt. Okay, so you're gonna be in your sort of warrior 3 setup here. Corinne, warrior 3 back leg, okay? And then you're gonna lean into the fingertips, push the hands down and forward to pull into your center. And as long as you keep that back leg to the center, to the midline, you will float up. You do not have to kick or spring or anything. It's all gonna come from your awareness of and connection to your center. If I'm here, it's never gonna happen. The more I hug in and push in, and you saw I came down because the top leg turned out. If the top leg turns out, okay, that was a bad example. If the back leg turns out, it's not gonna happen. Turn the back leg in. And it doesn't matter if you get to the wall or not. The whole point is the core work. My other side is like way, I was going to say shittier, but that's not very nice. Different. Different. We celebrate difference in yoga and celebrate the differences. And so for this side, I might need a little push, but nothing, and the back leg turned out, so I came down. But if I push off the bottom foot and the back leg turns in, I like gave it too much that time. So again, as long as you're turning the back leg in and hugging it to the midline, it's going to be way less effort. You want to try it? If you're not sure and you just want to practice the kicking up with help like that, I'm going to come help you. Melissa can come help you. And if you want to do warrior 3, hands on the wall, hands on the floor, we're sitting in meditation with shoulders. And the key, if you choose the meditation one, the key is shoulders and head to the wall. Shoulders and head to the wall in a meditation posture of your choice. If you're going for the press up, you're going to stand on your blocks and plant your hands and lean your weight into your hands, shoulders over wrists, not right up to the wall. You're too close to the wall if you're touching the wall. You might have to walk your blocks back in that case. And lean into your hands, your fingertips, shoulders over wrists, and extend one leg up, a warrior 3 leg. Yes. And then keep turning the back toes in and pressing the inner thigh to the wall. Turn the back toes in and press the inner thigh to the wall. Lift the bottom heel up. And as you push, you might be a little close to the wall, Lindsay. And as you push through the hands, walk your hands like back to here. As you push through the hands, you got to think ribs back, inner thigh to the wall. Nice, Danny. Turn the foot in, turn the foot in. Yep. You got to keep that top leg, the foot's going to want to turn out. The second the bottom foot loses connection, the second the bottom foot disconnects to the earth, you got to turn the back leg in to come from the center. Whew. Make sure you try both sides. Hold on one second. Is it okay to touch? Is it okay to touch?
I have too much fear.
That's okay. Yeah, just be right here and this thing, turn the foot in. Like just keep it in. That's all you have to do. It's turning out in, and more, yes, like that. And then ribs back. That's the way. Questions, comments, concerns, enlightenment, satori, what do we got? Questions? Yeah. I think it's where you're at in your journey. You're like having a breakthrough. You're there. You're like right there. So you don't need the blocks. Yeah. And some of you, like Maya, Jaya, are like at the point where you're like right at the, were you able to press up? You don't like the block, yeah. The block is going to be like an asset and a peril. If you have a familiar way of doing it, it's going to feel like an obstacle to your way of doing it. But especially if you have a familiar way of doing it and you're advancing your practice, you kind of like need, it's called a pratiloma in the yoga tradition. You kind of need that rock in your shoe as the dharana to help you find like a different dimension of center. And then ultimately you can do it with both feet at the same time because you're so tied in. Let's find the blocks and take one block on its highest height and one block in front of it on its medium height. And then place your shoulder blades on the medium height block and your head on the high block for a heart bench. And the knees can be feet on the ground. Hips width apart. The knees can be bent, feet on the ground, feet out, or hips width apart, and the knees can rest against each other at the midline, or you could stretch your legs out long. And that bottom block, we don't want it like below, in other words, we don't want the bottom block south of the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. We want that southern block. We want shoulder blades resting on the southern block. Center back of the skull resting on the northern block. And it's a heart opener, and so the tendency for the breath pattern in the heart opener is to turn towards chest breathing because the chest is open. I'm going to focus the awareness on the breath, and as you inhale, draw the breath in deep towards the pelvic floor and let the pelvic floor and the low belly expand on the inhale. The breath fills you all the way up to the top of your lungs. And then as you exhale, let the top of the chest soften, the bottom ribs soften, and the belly empty. And as you inhale, you're filling yourself from bottom to top at your own pace. Okay, so we're not counting the breath. We're not counting the inhales or exhales, but just really focusing as you inhale to expand from bottom to top, to fill from bottom to top, and as you exhale to empty from top to bottom. And if and when that feels, so if that's requiring effort and concentration, please just stay here. This is such a beneficial practice to turn from chest breathing to belly breathing, or what we call full yogic diaphragmatic breath. In and out through the nose. The inhale connects you into the depths of your being, expands and deepens your depths and fills you up. And then the exhale is the sort of methodical emptying out, pouring out from top to bottom. If you want more, you can take that head block down a notch. So it's at the same height as your heart block. And this will intensify the heart opening, the chest opening component of the posture, which is going to ask you to focus more deeply on the belly breathing. Soften the throat and the jaw. With the lips closed, the teeth come apart and the tip of your tongue rests against the roof of your mouth. Gently behind the top teeth, or maybe pressing gently the tip of your tongue into the upper palate. The primary focus is still on the breath. Deeper with each consecutive inhale. Smoother and longer with each consecutive exhale. And most of you look like it's appropriate to stay as you are, unless your head block is still on its highest height and you want to experiment with a lower block. So the blocks are at the same level. Some of you might want to taste taking the head block down a notch so that your head block is lower than your heart block. It's an invitation, not an obligation. And so the heart is the highest point. It's a little bit of an inversion. It might feel a little disorienting at first. Just come back to your breath. There should be no strain in your body whatsoever. And we didn't do a ton of back bending, so listen to and honor your body. But if you've altered the form to deepen the posture, and again, call yourself back to the breath. And as you inhale, let the breath carry you into the pelvic floor. Feel the low belly expand as the breath fills you up, even the collarbones spread. And as you exhale, the neck, the jaw, the collarbone soften, the rib cage, the belly. Just 3 more cycles of breath in the heart bench. Imagine the breath can, well, I guess most of us are wearing stretchy pants, but the breath is stretching your stretchy pants. to the max. And at the bottom of your next exhale, if not already, bend your legs so you can feel both feet on the ground. Turn your palms to the ground, feel both palms on the ground. And the key here is like when you come out of this pose, we want the head to come last. So before you even try, just acknowledge that our patterning and our tendency is going to be to push through the hands and lift from the head. It'll help, if you're comfortable with it, to keep your eyes closed. And keeping your eyes closed, can you push through your arms to lift the heart up? Stretch your legs out long or bend the knees in as whatever you need to support yourself in coming up. Head last. We're going to come into a downward dog. Last one. Downward dog. You can pedal your feet from side to side. Stretch through the soles of the feet, the backs of the legs. And now bring your awareness to the impression left by the heart bench, right between the shoulder blades. And from right there, can you push not into your mat, not onto the earth, but from where the heart block was, can you push through the arms into the center of the earth? So much that maybe you feel your hips lift a little. And then walk your feet about halfway forward and your hands about halfway back to meet yourself in the center. And take your feet outer hips width apart, turn your knees and toes out to squat for Malasana. Garland pose. Lower your tush as much as you can, keep the heels down. So if the heels come up, lift your butt up and press your heels down. And then wherever you are there, whatever your like distance to or from the earth, you're going to press the elbows between the legs, hands in prayer, and press elbows out and hug legs in. Belly breath. Fingertips to the floor. Lift your hips up, parallel your feet. Get long through the spine, heart forward like you're looking over the edge. And then exhale, fold over your legs, bow to your heart, the voice of the true teacher within you, always present, intrinsically peaceful, utterly powerful and luminous, never further than your heart, which is never further than your breath. Bring your hands to your hips, come all the way up to standing. So I just wanted us to end here in case you can either stay at the wall, or if you prefer to bring your mat back to center, you can bring your mat back to center for our final rest. If you're happy where you are, feel free to stay where you are. If you want to spread out, pull your mat into center. It could be at or near or nowhere near where you started. That's totally fine. Figure out where you want to be for final rest. And then we'll meet on our, let's meet on our backs with the knees bent and feet on the floor. Like happy baby. And as you come into happy baby, you can gently rock from side to side, or if you prefer, you can hug your knees in towards your chest in little circles to massage your back body into and against the lap of the earth. Scan your body with your awareness to see if there's any final poses, movements, or adjustments that you need or want to make, especially if you want like a supine twist. Make sure you go to both sides and then end with a happy baby or final embrace, something symmetrical. And as you're ready, spread yourself out on the altar of the earth. Add or remove props. Add or remove layers. Make yourself as comfortable as humanly possible. Let each and every toe soften. The little toe, the fourth toe, the third toes, your second toes and your big toes soften. The feet can gently roll open. As the ankles soften, the calf muscles and the shin muscles release their grip from the bones. And the knees soften. All the muscles of the thighs release, and the thigh bones, the biggest, heaviest bones in the body, soften and settle into the lap of the earth. This has such a grounding, settling quality when the legs release. Then the hips and the pelvis can soften, and all those visceral organs just have more space inside to pulse and to function. The breath flows more deeply, more fully, more freely in you, as you, through you. The heart can soften. The shoulders and the arms right down through the center of the palms soften into the unconditional support of Mother Earth. And then the fingers very gently and softly sort of curl in towards the center of the palms. And the weight, the weightiness and the release of the arms into the lap of the earth aids in the opening of the chest, the lungs, the heart, so that now still the breath can move more deeply, more fully, more freely in you, as you, through you. And the neck and throat softens, the jaw, all the muscles of the face soften through the forehead, around the eyes and the brow. With the eyes soft, maybe closed, the third eye opens and gazes inward. And you can see from both within and far beyond yourself the currents of the breath in you, through you, and all around you, from you. And finally, the head softens and settles heavily into the lap of the earth, so much so that all the self-perceived edges dissolve. And for this moment, for the time being, you can allow yourself to feel one with the earth, one with the breath. Invite a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And allow yourself to bear witness to the free flow of the breath in you, as you, through you, from you. Now as a clear and open channel for the gift of life to experience itself in you and as you, and express itself through you. As you deepen the breath, feel how naturally your breath deepens you, your awareness of yourself and your connection inward. And as you deepen the breath, let the spirit that you are begin to gently awaken the body that you have, wiggling each toe, each finger, stretching through your arms and your legs in the ways that just naturally feel good. Reconsolidating yourself around your sense of center. And as the spirit that you are gently awakens the body that you have, allow the body that you have to embrace and affirm the spirit that you are. And allow the body that you have to protect and adorn the spirit that you are, literally wrapping yourself around yourself. For this is and you are the gift of life. When you're ready, bend your legs and feel both feet on the ground, and just take a moment to call yourself down to earth and take a breath. And call yourself back to reality and take a breath. And take a moment to visualize the ways in which you choose to stretch yourself in this practice of yoga into the activities of your daily life. Who and how do you want to be? And hold this vision of yourself, the you that you are, the you that you've always been, and the you that you are becoming in your heart of hearts. As you gently roll to one side and press through strong arms to meet together in a seated posture. Take your time, be gentle in the transition. And we'll meet seated with the eyes softly opened or softly closed, and the hands again before the heart in Anjali Mudra. A final gesture of sincere self-reverence that again and again and again recognizes and honors the voice of the true teacher, always present, intrinsically peaceful, utterly powerful and luminous, which is never further than your heart center. That powerful outlet of the heart inside yourself, which is never further than your breath. And this is a gesture that consciously and courageously places this aspect of ourselves before us as a guide and an offering in all we do, in so doing bringing more love and wisdom and virtuosity to those in the world around us. As you bow to your heart, with all my heart I bow to every one of you. Thank you so much for your practice and your presence, for choosing to be here and do this together. And also with all my heart, I thank you, each and every one of you, for all that you are and all that you do every single day of this life. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the questions. I feel like that's really helpful for everyone, so thanks for bringing the questions. Thank you, Melissa, for the assistance and the upside down time in this upside down world. I hope that helps. And just one more reminder at the bottom of this is just to silence your phones when you come into the studio. We're not like a cell-free zone, but even if you leave it downstairs, sometimes they're like going off raucously downstairs and there's a class downstairs. And then sometimes I know folks have to bring them into the studio and then they go off during Shavasana, which is kind of not the most considerate thing for your fellow yoga practitioners. Again, it's not, I don't want it to have to be a cell-free zone. I know we have like doctors and doulas and like all the things in the room, but just like to keep it discreet and silent and respectful of your community. We appreciate that. So please silence your phones in studio or in the downstairs, and have a great rest of your weekend. We probably for 4th of July, my guess is that there will be one class on the 4th of July. Is it me? Yeah. I was was just wondering. I was like, I kind of have plans, but I guess I could change my plans.
I just signed up for it.
Okay, it's me. Is it at 10:30? One class at 10:30 on the 4th of July with me.